Echo, I have a great idea.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Hello and welcome back to Arcanum Gaming. My name is Richie. Today we're back with our third episode of Broken Sword 2, The Smoking Mirror. Now, last time we were here at the dock, we'd made some pretty good progress, and we were trying to figure out how to get rid of number 20 here. And I didn't look up a hint on this because I was just wandering back and forth for a while and not really making any progress. And it seemed like we were on the right track with this platform thing over here. Can we walk over there, please, George? Yeah, so we need to make sure that the platform is raised. And with the platform raised, we're supposed to use the biscuits with the platform?
Hey, 20, come and get it, boy.
And then with the dog on the platform, we're supposed to interact with
I felt
it.
a slight twinge of conscience as I prepared to give the dog a dunking. It soon passed.
Okay, so I was on the right path. I just wasn't clicking in the right spot, and
As I'd expected, the dog could swim like a dog.
okay. I was really worried that we were going to drown the dog there. But he's fine. He swam off. Whew. And now that the dog is gone, I bet we can climb this fence. Alright, we made it inside the docks. Okay, so what do we got here? There's a door back here. There's a sign.
A sturdy chain and padlock hung around the door handles.
Can we pick that lock?
That would never work.
This is up here.
The sign looked as if it was firmly attached to the wall. Anyway, I didn't really want it as a souvenir. It read Pont de Nord, fine wine producers. I didn't recognize the label. I couldn't reach the wheel and couldn't see any point in climbing up to it. It read Condor Transglobal. I'd come to the right place. Now all I had to do was get inside. A sturdy chain and padlock hung around the door handles.
Okay.
It read,
Yeah. I know it read. Can we go in this door?
the din must have drowned out the sound of my knocking.
There's a ladder over here. Looks like an open window.
Maybe there was a way in up there.
Alright, let's check out these barrels first.
A fine old oak barrel.
Interesting.
The window was jammed shut.
Okay.
The metal housing prevented me from getting to the fan.
Metal housing.
It was a duct from a ventilation fan.
Duct from a ventilation.
The metal housing prevented me from getting to the fan.
Aha, this window is not locked.
I couldn't reach the blades of the fan, which was just as well. If I'd stuck my fingers in there, I'd never be able to play guitar again.
How about the hook?
That did the trick. The fan clunked and shorted out as its blades were mashed by the boat hook.
Hey, you make any more noise, I break your arms.
That bully needed to be taught a lesson.
Garzak's already mad because we didn't get the stone. You give me any trouble, I'll tell him it was all your fault.
Karzak? That must be his boss. I decided there was a better way to attract their attention. I decided there was...
What would that be?
I decided...
Better way to attract attention. Go down and knock on the door. Let's go and save first. Or no. Save. Still at the dock. Okay, quick. Upstairs, upstairs. Run.
Who is he?
Is this Condor Transglobal?
Nobody here. Go away.
I'll give you 5 seconds to let me in, or I'll bust down the door.
Okay. I'm coming.
He didn't sound too happy.
Run. Quick, George, go. Alright, over here. Over here, quickly. Got him.
The boat hook was jammed in the dented fan blades.
Alright, I guess we can't get the boat hook back. That's fine. Back down. Alright, we got inside. Lock the door. Good. Alright. Where's that other person?
Among the paperwork which adorned the notice board was something which caught my eye. It was a delivery note from Condor Transglobal, and the address was Coromante City. There was nothing else of any... The only interesting thing I found was a small brass key.
Small brass key.
It was locked.
How about the key?
The little brass key didn't fit the lock.
Oh. Try picking it?
It was locked. I'd need a crowbar or a stick of dynamite to open that cabinet, but I wasn't here to check out the filing system. All the crates were firmly sealed. The room was filled with transglobal crates.
Okay.
The room was...
Alright, let's head this way.
Whoa! Don't shoot! The little guy had a blowpipe. That confirmed my suspicions about what had happened to Nico. I waited for him to shoot me, but it didn't happen. Instead, he seemed to want to tell me something. What? What do you want? He seemed excited, almost desperate. What did he want so bad? Hi. I'm not going to hurt you.
Quaramonte!
Is that where you're from? Coramonte City?
Quaramonte! Quaramonte!
Okay. What have you done with my girlfriend?
Huh?
I am not leaving without her. Where is she? He didn't appear to understand me. This was the dart you used to knock out my girlfriend. If she's come to any harm, I will count you personally responsible.
Lotse kapaitu fnor!
But the key.
What does this key unlock?
Huh?
Oh, is that a handcuff key?
Hey, you're manacled. Who did this? That big thug? I'm gonna set you free, okay? Hey, come back here. The little guy had gone to ground amongst the stack of crates.
Oh, alright. Got ourselves some handcuffs now.
It was the set of manacles I'd removed from the little Indian's ankles.
Well then. Is that a light switch? Oh, it's an elevator. Okay.
Just in time. Interrupting the beam of light kept the doors from closing and stopped anyone from using the elevator. But what now?
If we use the metal thing.
Wrong.
Coal?
No.
Lipstick.
Nope.
Any paper.
The label just wasn't sticky enough to stay in place.
Label wasn't sticky enough.
That was no good. It was the newspaper. Wrong.
Dog biscuits?
I wasn't convinced that was the right thing to do. No. That wouldn't work. It was that itsy-bitsy tequila worm. It was the metal cone I'd taken from the chimney of the watchman's hut. It was the label I'd found in the... No, that's wrong. There. That would keep the doors from closing.
That was...
The crate was labeled, Danger. Live contents. Do not drop. There were small holes in the top and sides, and scratchy noises coming from inside. The crate bore the familiar logo of Condor Transglobal, but no clues to its contents. But decided not to risk dropping it and meeting the live contents. The crate was labeled...
Alright.
The statue looked way too heavy for me to move.
It's on a pallet jack, though, isn't it?
There wasn't enough room to move the handle. It was a large crate with no label. No chance. Whatever those crates contained, they were heavy. I didn't want to risk dropping the crate and releasing its live contents. There wasn't much I could do with a pulley that didn't have any rope.
Pulley that doesn't have any rope. What do we got over here?
A sturdy beam was jammed across the doors. These doors were not going to open.
Not gonna open, huh?
The window was not designed to open.
Can we look through it?
There was no way to open that window. There wasn't enough room to move the handle. I couldn't move the crate until I'd blocked the light beam with something else. The statue looked as if it was Central or South American in origin.
Okay. What do we got here? We got this light glare from the window here. Is there anything else to do in the door?
These doors were not going to open. I realized the doors must lead to a loading platform high above the dockside.
Anything else over here?
I didn't want to risk dropping the crate and releasing its live contents. There wasn't much I could do with a pulley that didn't have any rope. An unmarked switch. Tempting.
Let's try the switch. Turn the light on. What do we got over here?
There was an arc-shaped scratch on the floor, as if a door had been opened in the nearby wall. I noticed a faint mark on the wooden floor. My fingers traced the outline of a secret door in the wall. Then I found a small round stud, which was set flush to the surrounding wooden paneling. Just as I'd hoped. A secret room.
Okay. I guess we don't need to go to the
Nico!
elevator after. Ah. Maybe I should have examined the thing on the floor first. There's the rope.
There. How you feeling?
Oh, thanks, Georges. How on earth did you find me?
I knew Oubier had been in Marseille. But never mind about me. How about you tell me exactly what's going on, starting with that Mayan stone?
I picked it up from one of Karzak's men in Paris. I was expecting a consignment of narcotics.
Drugs?
Yes. The proof I needed to expose Karzak's smuggling operation. I'd set it up to act as his courier, and once I had the proof, I planned to go straight to Inspector Mou. But instead of the dope I'd expected, they sent me that stone instead. And to find out more, I called Professor Oubier, who invited me to his mansion. At least, I thought it was Oubier.
I don't get it. If Karzak's business is drugs, why is he so desperate to get his hands on that stone?
Maybe it has some significance to the local people in Central America. It could be Karzak's means of getting them to work for him. Anyway, we've got to get out of here.
Nico, wait! I decided to keep the masking tape. It was bound to be of some use to me.
Tape, huh? Anything else in here?
It was a flint carving of a grotesque figure with large, evil eyes. It was the rope the Indian had used to tie Nico to a chair. Boy, what a souvenir.
Okay, I think that's it in this room. Alright, now that we have the tape...
We can't use the elevator. If that thug Pablo's recovered, he'll be waiting for us.
We've got to do something. Where does that door lead to?
I'm not sure.
Alright. Let's use the tape on the sensor.
I couldn't move the crate until I'd blocked the light beam with something else. The crate bore the familiar logo of... I couldn't move the crate until...
Okay.
Hopefully, the tape would prevent those doors from closing and stop the Indian from being able to call the elevator.
Let's move the crate back. Let's move this crate on top of that crate. Yes, alright. Good. Now let's move this crate. Alright, now can we use the pallet jack to break through the window over there?
The pallet rose about 6 inches off the floor, and I said a silent prayer to whoever had discovered the power of hydraulics.
What on earth are you doing?
Trying to raise the statue so I can hook it to that pulley.
Is that really going to help us?
I like to keep myself occupied in times of stress.
I see. Okay.
It would be much easier to attach the rope to the statue first.
Okay. I see what we're doing here. Okay.
The statue looked way too heavy for me to move. There wasn't much I could do with a pulley that didn't have any rope.
Connect the rope to the pulley.
I didn't want to remove the rope from the pulley. The statue looked way too heavy for me to move.
Alright. Now, can we push it along the pulley and break down the door?
It was too heavy for me to move on my own.
Seriously? Alright, where's Nico?
Could you give me a hand to push this statue?
What for?
This, my dear, is our passport to freedom.
If you say so, dear.
Okay, push! Great teamwork.
Nice to be working with you again, Mr. Stobart.
Alright, we got through the door.
I found these in your bag.
Oh, they were a gift.
I know, I read the note.
God knows what was going through Andre's mind.
I think that's quite plain enough.
Okay.
Have you any idea who this little statue is supposed to be?
I'm not very well acquainted with Mayan deities, Georges. But whatever his name, he sure is ugly.
Did you know Ubier's wife was a film star?
No, I didn't know he was married. What happened to her?
She died. In mysterious circumstances, apparently.
How mysterious.
I heard she was murdered. Possibly by Ubier himself.
A murderer, huh? Andre said he was something of a celebrity.
Do you recognize this?
Is that the dart which knocked me out?
That's right. I kept it as a souvenir. Look, the little guy downstairs was chained up with these.
That must have been Pablo's doing. I don't blame him, though. That little guy is dangerous.
You're still sore about that poisoned dart?
Of course I'm sore.
Okay, tell me what you know about Condor.
Condor Transglobal exports Aztec and Mayan relics from Central America to Europe. But that's just a cover for the real business. Drug smuggling.
What proof do you have?
Nothing yet.
Tell me about this Karzak guy.
Well, I saw him for only a few minutes, but he frightened me. I got the impression that Pablo was nervous when he was around too. His eyes, they're like a wild animal's, like a tiger. That's what scared me most about him. He looked so unpredictable and dangerous.
Is the voice actor that played Nico in the first game different than the one in this game? Because she sounds a little different. I don't know if it's just better audio quality. George sounds about the same to me, but Nico sounds different.
Did I hear you refer to Inspector Moo?
Yes, you remember him?
Yeah, he was the crazy guy.
Well, of course I do.
Magical.
But I thought he was
Brain
dead.
man.
Oh no, he reappeared after the broken sword case had blown over. When he found out who was in with the Neo-Templars, he went into hiding. Moo knew more than was good for him.
Does he know about our involvement with the case?
If he does, he's not telling.
Or was
Still, he got a sudden promotion.
Moo wasn't the detective. He was like his partner or something. Is that right? I don't remember.
Did that Indian guy mistreat you?
If you forget about the abduction, verbal threats, and bondage, no.
Well, what about the little guy?
I don't think he knows where he is or what he's doing here. The big guy, Pablo, he brought Titipoco from the jungle.
Titty what?
Titipoco. That's what I heard Pablo call the dwarf.
Do you know where Condor is based?
In Central America. A place called Quaramonte.
I saw that name on a docket downstairs.
Alright, let's get out of here.
I thought about hanging from the cable with my bare hands, but it was too far to the other end of the cable to escape that way.
We can use the handcuffs, maybe, as a zip line.
Nico, I have a great idea.
The dog's still swimming.
Josh, where have you been?
Never mind that. Do you have the Mayan stone?
Maybe I have, but,
Don't argue, André. Give the stone to George.
well, of course. If you say so, Nicole.
Thank you so much, Andre.
George, he told me you'd been kidnapped, my dear. I'm glad to see he was mistaken.
Oh, but it was true. If it hadn't been for George, I wouldn't be here now.
It's not finished yet. Karzak's thugs will be back for that stone, you can bet. The best lead that we have is Coromonte City.
Coromonte is in Central America. That's where Ubier gets his artifacts.
That's all we needed to know. Come on, George.
Claramonte, the traveler's rear entrance to Central America. Well, that's how it was translated in the brochure. We didn't know what we were looking for, but the offices of Condor Transglobal seemed a good place to start.
Alright. This is cool. I just heard a goat. Oh no.
Hey, it's market day. I don't see any cabs. Let's ask someone how to get to Quaramonte City.
That
Okay.
isn't.
Keep your eyes peeled for any sign of Condor Transglobal.
That is the goat, is it? Alright. I think we're gonna go ahead and save here. Since I don't know how to spell Caramante, we're just gonna label this save for rescue. Alright, we've got some exploring here to do. I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up here for today. We successfully navigated the warehouse, rescued Nico. So, yeah, I think we'll pick it up checking out this place next time. I don't know how long this game is compared to the first one, but it seems like we're kind of breezing through things, which is good. I mean, I don't want to finish it too fast, but making some good progress already on episode 3 here. At the end of episode 3 here, I should say. Yeah, so we'll talk to these people and explore a bit, investigate that goat, see if it's the same one from the first game. I hope not. Next time. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.